Ladies and gentlemen, we just got confirmation that Ray Epps works for the FBI. How's it going, guys? Welcome back to Unwoke Thoughts. Yes, you heard that correctly. It's confirmed. Ray Epps works for the FBI 100%. He's a Fed, believe it or not. I know it's crazy, but yes, I am talking about the same guy who texted his nephew that he, quote, orchestrated January the 6th. This was, I believe it was on January the 6th or after, the day after. The same guy who yelled at the crowd of people to go into the Capitol, and the same guy who said, and I quote, "As soon as President Trump is finished speaking, we are going to the Capitol. It's that direction." You know, that's some very precise language from just some random protester at this January 6th protest deemed an insurrection by our ever-loving overlords, the U.S. government, and the mainstream media apparatus. But you might be asking me now, Andrew, why are you saying that he is 100% a Fed? Well, the reason why is because with my own eyes, I observe his actions at the Capitol, and with my own ears, I hear his words that were spoken, and I also see with my own eyes the complete disinterest of the Feds in him versus these other individuals who did much less in contrast. I think I will trust my own eyes and trust my own logical reasoning skills than a government and media who have a history of lying to the public. And, oh, wait, not to mention this, the final nail in the coffin, the most recent evidence to come out exposing his insanely light sentence that requires zero jail time for Ray Epps. Zero. And I'll get into here in a second what his sentence actually is. One of the most vocal protesters at this J6 event was sentenced to, and drumroll please, 12 months of probation, $500 in restitution, and 100 hours of community service. Yep, that's correct. You heard that right. You've got individuals like Jake Lang who are rotting away in a federal prison, and, they don't even have a court date yet. Jake Lang doesn't even have a court date yet. He's still sitting in a federal prison. However, Ray Epps, this individual who was telling people to go into the Capitol, to head towards the Capitol as soon as Donald Trump is done speaking, he gets probation and a tiny little fine and a small amount of community service. Now, this even comes on the back of the Biden administration's DOJ saying that they are not going to be only charging people who were inside the Capitol on January 6th, but now they are going after and investigating individuals who were outside the Capitol on January the 6th. Imagine that. So they're taking this protest very, very seriously. They're going after a lot of people who were simply there to protest what they saw as an injustice in their election process. However, the one individual who was seen inciting a riot more than any other is simply given probation. And this is why I say that he is or was connected to some sort of intelligence agency in some capacity. But what do you guys think? Do you think that this is true? Let me know down below in the comments. But in case you have forgotten all the things that Ray Epps said and did that day, here is a quick refresher for you of just a few of them.
President Trump is finished speaking. We are going to the Capitol. It's that direction. That's where our true problems lie.
President Trump is done speaking. We are going to the Capitol. That's where our problems are. Okay, folks, we need your help. As soon as President Trump stops speaking, we are going to the Capitol. The Capitol is in that direction. Let people know. Spread the word. Tomorrow, we need to go into the Capitol. Into the Capitol. What? No! Peacefully. Fed. Tomorrow, I don't even like to say it because I'll be arrested.
Well, let's not say it.
We need to go. I'll say it.
All right.
We need to go in.
Shut the fuck up, boomer.
To the Capitol.
Based Fed posting? All right. We need to go into the Capitol. I didn't see that coming. Okay.
Monument Hill.
Trump speaking. We are going to the Capitol, where our problems are. It's that direction. Please spread the word.
All right, noted. Okay, but one more thing.
Yeah, so can we go up there? No?
When we go in,
Are we going to get arrested if we
leave
go
this
up there?
here. You don't need to get
Did you
shot.
arrest us all?
That was Ray Epps, the individual who got 12 months of probation, $500 in restitution, and 100 hours of community service. Listen to what he was saying there. Now, I believe in freedom of speech, but what I am simply pointing out is the fact that you look at what he was saying and what he was doing, and you compare it to some of these other protesters that they are going after for inciting a riot or inciting an insurrection. And I don't know. It kind of seems like he was inciting an insurrection if you go by their definition of what it is, yet they don't seem to care. But Zero Hedge, they talked about this. Ray Epps dodges prison sentence, gets probation, community service for telling J6ers to go into the Capitol. Ray Epps, the man, caught multiple times telling J6 protesters to escalate their demonstration and go into the Capitol on January the 6th, will spend no time in prison for his role that day. Instead, Ray Epps has been given 12 months of probation, $500 in restitution, and 100 hours of community service. Now, Nick Sorter tweeted, breaking Ray Epps, the man who took credit for orchestrating January the 6th, by encouraging people to raid the Capitol, has been sentenced to 12 months probation. He will receive 0 jail time. Meanwhile, there are truly peaceful protesters rotting in prison simply for wandering onto Capitol grounds. As expected, this is a total miscarriage of justice. Does anyone actually believe Epps is not a federal asset? But according to Epps' sentencing memorandum, Epps should have served 6 months in jail. Although Epps engaged in felonious conduct during the riot on January the 6th, his case includes a variety of distinctive and compelling mitigating factors. Oh yes, let's see. What are these distinctive and compelling mitigating factors? Okay. Which led the government to exercise its prosecutorial discretion and offer Epps a pre-indictment misdemeanor plea resolution. Oh, wow. How nice of the government to do this for Ray Epps. That is so kind of them. Wow. I have a warm and fuzzy feeling in my heart. Epps' attorney, Edward, however you say that word, argued that Epps should serve no jail time and that right-wing political dramaturges resulted in Epps being attacked, defamed, and vilified. Nope, I'm sorry. It might have been the right wing who went after him, but they were calling out inconsistencies that were clear for all to see. According to the sentencing memorandum, Gordon asserted that Epps has been, quote, the target of a false and widespread conspiracy theory that he was an undercover government agent on January the 6th. Other mitigating factors include Epps calling the FBI on January the 8th to explain his actions 2 days prior. Further, Gordon listed his cooperation with both the FBI and now defunct House J6 Select Committee, which lost video evidence of their witness interviews. What a coincidence. And what the DOJ describes as his effort to de-escalate tensions between protesters and the police. Now, I just showed you guys video of Ray Epps yelling at these protesters to go into the Capitol as soon as Donald Trump is done speaking, to go to the Capitol. The Capitol is this way. Does that sound like efforts to de-escalate tensions between protesters and the police? I don't know, unless maybe I don't know what the word de-escalate means. Maybe I have these things all upside down. I'm being gaslit here, okay? Epps only acted in furtherance of his own misguided belief in the lie that the 2020 presidential election had been stolen, reads the memorandum. However, quote, Due to the outrage directed at Epps as a result of that false conspiracy theory, he has been forced to sell his business, move to a different state, and live reclusively. Poor guy. As the Epic Times reports further, Epps' photo was removed from the FBI's most wanted page without explanation. And on September the 18th, prosecutors charged Epps with 1 count of disorderly conduct or disruptive conduct in a restricted building or grounds, a petty misdemeanor with a maximum 6-month jail term. And then on September the 21st of last year, Mr. Epps pleaded guilty to the charge. In mere days, the high-profile case was dispatched, a stark contrast to many J6 prosecutions. Like I said, Jake Lang is still rotting away in prison. He's been in prison for ever since it happened, and he still has not gotten a court date. Yet, all of a sudden, Ray Epps, just like that, boom, in a snap of a finger, his date is scheduled and over with, and he can go about with his life. But that I've stretched across nearly 3 years. Yeah, so Jake Lang's sentence, he's serving it, but he hasn't been sentenced because he hasn't had a court date. Sentencing in the case has been scheduled for December 20th, 2023, but U.S. District Judge James Boasberg granted a continuance until 10 a.m. January 9th at the federal courthouse in Washington, D.C. So then his lawyer, they just go on to say that Ray Epps understands the serious mistake he made when he joined others to attend the Stop the Steal rally on January the 6th. And his lawyer is appealing to the government to have mercy on Ray Epps. And, you know, I wonder if the lawyers of any of these other J6 prisoners have petitioned the government to have mercy on them, because the government sure is having a lot of mercy on one of the most vocal insurrectionists at the Capitol, Ray Epps. So maybe the J6ers should try this. You know, the government, you know, they're just looking out for you. They'll have mercy on you, J6ers, because look what they did for Ray Epps. The most clear-cut case of a protester gone awry inciting a riot to go towards the Capitol. It's very clear. You can see it on video. But what do you guys think of this situation? Do you think that Ray Epps is a Fed? Do you think he works for the FBI or some intelligence agency? Do you find all of those videos a little bit suspicious compared to what his sentence was? The fact he got 0 jail time, he just got some probation, a small fine, and a few hours of community service. Let me know what you guys think about this down below in the comments. Like this video and subscribe to my channel. I would really appreciate it. But until then, I will see you on the next one.